It's time for Professor Zoom, also known as Reverse Flash, also known as Eobard Thawne, to get his revenge. Can the Flash survive? Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Our tale begins in 1520, with a woman on the edge of a cliff and men trying to push her over the side. But between the soldiers, an old man steps forward. She warns him not to grow any closer or she will kill him, and he tells her not to worry. His name is Eobard Thawne, and he knows of her powers, and he is here to save her. He tells her that he knows her story. She is the infamous Fountain of Youth. It is a power that she possesses, and in return for giving him back his youth, he will save her. Realizing that she is about to be murdered, she accepts this, granting Eobard Thawne his youth, and then using his long fingernails in an insane amount of speed, he murders everyone who would dare do this poor woman harm. He stops and he tells her, "The lightning chose you as it chose me. Now there are others we must find, for it is our destiny to destroy a demon." What's the demon's name? The people will eventually come to call him the Flash. Eobard went to 1883 where he was able to save a man with the ability to make himself thin and turn himself into a shadow from the men that would kill him for stealing jewels. Then, in 1957, he saved a woman who killed a man for calling her a witch due to her powers of being unbreakable, the unstoppable woman. And then in 1982, he helped a man who could turn into a tornado who had then lost control. He told them all the same story, that they were all chosen by the lightning to stop a demon known as the Flash in the future, and he would need all of them. What they don't know is that he created each of those situations that he saved them from. But enough about Eobard Thawne. You came for one man, one hero, one demon, the Flash! Right now he is standing in front of a man in a robotic suit. This is my home. You mess with Central City, you mess with the Flash. And then he rockets at top speed to get a punch in. When time stops. Professor Zoom is literally riding on the Flash's back, slowing him down by just a fraction of a second, and the Flash can see him in the reflection of the mirror next to him. So as the Flash is coming in for his move, he takes a blow to the head. The Flash hits the ground confused, and he looks like he's just seen a ghost. But never mind that, he gets back up and he begins to run circles around the goon, sucking out all of the air and suffocating him. The man in the robotic suit hits the ground hard, cracking it, and the Flash runs to a nearby window to see if what he saw is still there. What was the yellow-suited man? Meanwhile, across town in Iron Heights, Barry Allen's father, Henry Allen, has been imprisoned for the supposed death of his wife, Nora Allen. Barry doesn't believe that it actually happened ever since the day it happened, and he's been working on the case in his spare time, looking to find the true killer. But his father won't stop telling everyone that it was him, that he in fact did kill his wife. To make matters even worse for Barry's investigation, Henry Allen just faked a heart attack and he staged a jailbreak. He took some criminals with him and he goes to a warehouse where he begins to put his own plans into motion. Except that Professor Zoom arrives, displaced from time, and he begins setting things into motion with a smirk. He flips the fire alarm and he gets the security personnel to come running in. Henry begs them not to do anything. Don't shoot. He's an innocent man and he's just trying to save someone. But once again, Professor Zoom slows down time and he takes the security guard's gun and then he places it into Henry's hands before pulling the trigger. Zoom then leaves and Henry is flabbergasted. I didn't do it. I couldn't have. The Flash can't believe that his father escaped. He refuses to believe it, and even after he corners a member of the escaped group, the man tells him that the whole thing was Henry Allen's idea. With that information, the Flash found the guard that helped them escape, and he discovered that it was in fact Henry Allen's plan, and he got the guard to agree by promising to help cure his ill wife. The Flash runs, trying to sort this whole thing out in his head. He runs when he needs to think, when Professor Zoom suddenly runs alongside him again. "You again?" the Flash shouts. "Who are you?" With glowing red eyes and a sinister grin. "Such an angry man, Flash. Where does it come from, I wonder?" And he runs in front of the Flash, keeping one step ahead of him, leading him. And then he vanishes, and the Flash finds himself back on his home street, his old house. What is all of this? His house, his father breaking out of jail, a yellow speedster? What is going on? Still confused, the Flash waits for a call to come in, for a break-in, and he runs there as fast as he can and he changes into Barry Allen, where he confronts his father. His father stands there in shock and Barry runs at him, giving him the largest hug he's ever given his father. And then he tells him, "You gotta go back to prison, Dad. Of course I want to see you, but you gotta get out the right way. I have a lead on the real killer. It's a man that can move as fast as the Flash." His father turns to him. "If you see that man, run away, Barry." I'm an ex-con with a score to settle. I'm no good to you anymore, Barry. So hearing his father's words, he decides he's going to clear his father's name by himself, and he continues running through the city until another call comes down, one where the crooks will only talk to the Flash. He runs to the heist and he tries to free the hostages, but he discovers that they are only mannequins, and then a gun is pressed to the back of his head. He runs around the room managing to flip the crook over and take his gun, and then he realizes that the crook that he just flipped was his father. His father wanted to talk to the Flash, to ask him to help Barry Allen, not realizing that his son is the Flash. He explains that his wife was murdered and he took the blame, but the real murderer is back and his name is Eobard Thawne. He's afraid that Thawne will hurt Barry, but Thawne is a speedster like the Flash. He needs the Flash's help. The Flash is stunned. You need my help? Why not ask Barry? Because he can't handle this. You can. The police then arrive and the Flash stands there continuing to be in shock. Remember! Henry shouts to the Flash as he's carried off. And in the police cruiser, Daryl Fry, the police chief, and the man that raised Barry, calls Henry crazy because any chance of having his name cleared is out the window now. But Henry explains that Thawne is back and he passed word to Henry in Iron Heights that no one in the Allen family is safe, and he broke out to protect his son. While they're talking though, a woman steps in front of the police cruiser and lets it hit her. She's the unstoppable woman and it wraps around her. Then a tornado begins to wrap around the remnants of the vehicle while the woman escorts Henry Allen to see an old friend of his. The Flash then runs over. If you think for a second I'm gonna let you take him, you are. But before he can finish his sentence, he finds himself running into a shadow and he ends up on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Using his intelligence, he spins his arms at a rapid rate, propelling himself to the surface where he catches his breath on an island, and then he blitzes back to Central City angry. He has no idea where they took his father, but it doesn't take long for the crooks to pop up again, letting Central City know the Flash has failed them. The Flash rockets onto the scene, demanding to know where Henry Allen is, and then he just ignores the fact that he asked a question and jumps in telling her, you know, I'm feeling a bit impatient today. But this is the unstoppable woman, and as he hits her, his hand shatters! The tornado then pops up, throwing police cars at the Flash, and he maneuvers between them and he lands in front of the woman again, just as she clotheslines him, dropping him to the street. We know what kind of monster you really are, Flash. And then she points to a machine that they've built in the middle of Central City and tells him, and now everyone else will know too. We know more about your power than you can even fathom because the lightning chose us as well. Then, using the combined powers of Zoom's team, they create a dome over the police precinct where the Flash is standing. He tries to vibrate through the wall, but that's when the walls give him a heavy amount of feedback and the device in the middle begins to ignite! It's a bomb that is being triggered by the Flash's own energy, set up perfectly to injure those that the Flash holds dear. Because inside, Daryl Fry, the man who raised Barry, and Wally West, Iris West's nephew, are there. The Flash falls to his knees defeated, because every time he tries to run, the device does more damage, and eventually, it'll fully explode. He's trapped by his own powers. Daryl comes running out and demands to know what the Flash did. But at that exact moment, another lightning strike comes off of the bomb and it threatens to hit Daryl. So the Flash runs again, causing yet another strike to go off, hitting himself. Everything starts to get out of control with the Chief blaming the Flash and other individuals saying that it wasn't him. The whole situation is a mess. And Professor Zoom is smirking from the outskirts. Luckily, Wally West is also trapped inside with them, and he has an idea. He's a rather smart kid. He heats up an engine block beyond normal temperatures, and then he begins to drive it into the wall. Just as it's about to hit the wall and potentially kill him, the Flash uses his speed again to save Wally, asking him, "Are you crazy?" But Wally smiles, because his plan did work, and there's now a hole in the wall. The Flash wastes no time saving everyone and carrying them out of the building through the hole. But just as he gets the last of the people out of the building, the bomb takes all of his energy, and the entire dome implodes, destroying the police station on the inside. Daryl Fry, the captain, flips out on the Flash. He's dangerous. He took out a portion of the city instead of just letting the police handle the situation. But the Flash has had enough as he tells the captain to calm the hell down. They lost a building and that was all. Then he leaves. Meanwhile, Professor Zoom turns to his hostage, Henry Allen, and he asks him if he's finished the device. Henry shows him the glove that can steal the powers of other individuals, and he tries to use it on Professor Zoom! Of course, Zoom freezes time again, and he takes the glove before throwing Henry to the wall. Henry, you're just a pawn. This whole thing was to put Central City against the Flash. Make Iris West write a fine article in which she explains that the Flash destroyed the police precinct. I want the Flash's name to go down in history as a dangerous individual, and with this glove, I will take the Flash's power. Luckily and unluckily, one of the members of Zoom's gang, McGilly, enters the room at that exact time and hears everything. That his actual plan is to ruin the Flash and take his power. not to stop a demon. So Professor Zoom grabs her with the glove, taking her power. He then wastes no time taking the fight directly to the Flash. His plan is working as he just needs the Flash's power now. Realizing that he's overwhelmed, the Flash runs off, telling Zoom that if he wants a fight, he'll have to catch him first. So Zoom tells his team to catch the Flash. It's time to end this. And the rest of the team starts to wonder where Miguel is. The Shadow Man catches up with the Flash first, but now the Flash knows what the Shadow Man can do, so he dodges every one of the Shadow Man's arms, and then he breaks the ground, dropping the unstoppable woman into the bay. He then reaches out to stop the moving tornado of a man, but Zoom freezes time again, and he grabs the Flash, lifting him off the ground, telling his team to back off. The Flash is his. The Flash goes in for a punch, but Zoom catches his fist. No one has ever really challenged you, have they, Flash? That whelp, Daniel West, he was an insult to our kind. And Grodd, no matter how smart he is, he's just an ape. While you can cover distances, time is my domain, Flash. He then hits the Flash over and over until Henry calls out, Eobard! Henry Allen has helped Miguel to the bridge where the fight is happening, and she informs the team that Zoom is a liar and a cheat. He is the one that sent their persecutors on them, and he lied to them about the Flash. Zoom throws the Flash aside and he gets ready as the Shadow Man, Unstoppable Woman, and the Tornado Man all jump in to fight against him. And using the Shadow Man to put the Unstoppable Woman in the path of his glove, they break his power-stealing glove. So Zoom smirks, and he grabs Henry Allen and he runs for it. Zoom runs Henry to their old house, and he tells the Flash that it's time to bring you home. Henry puts it together. Barry, you're the Flash? I wanted to tell you, Dad, but I was trying to keep you safe. Ha! You Allens love your secrets. So Henry spills his secret. You were right, son. I didn't kill your mother. It was Eobard Thawne, this Professor Zoom. He is the one behind everything, and he told me that if I didn't keep quiet and help him, he would kill you. Flash is in shock. Thawne, Zoom, whatever your name is, why did you do it? So Thawne explains that he is from the year 2463, where the Flash is revered as a legend. A legend! Zoom gained his powers and he tried to rule the Gem Cities. They were his. But the people wouldn't let him. They fought against him in the name of the Flash, a man who was nothing more than a legend in this time period. But if you defeat a legend, you can rule the future. And Zoom knew that if he couldn't beat the Flash at his full power, he would go back in time and give Flash the same life that he had and put them on the same footing. Zoom's father killed his mother, so Zoom killed Barry's mother and had his father take the blame. Zoom then goes in to kill Henry Allen, but the Flash gets in his way just in time. They continue their fight, but over and over, Zoom is too much. He freezes time and he steps around the Flash. There isn't any way for the Flash to catch him. The Flash then hits the ground to feed and it asks, how is Zoom so powerful? How can he move so much faster than the Flash? Zoom holds a clock to the Flash's face. It's about damn time! I ended the Allen bloodline! That's it! Time! The Flash thinks. The Flash channels everything he has. He taps into power previously unseen in the Flash, and he gets up and he stops Zoom. You've assumed that I just move fast, Zoom, but I'm also connected to time, just in a different way. While you can slow time, I can move it forward. I've always worried that if I ran my fastest, I would tear a hole in space and time, but now I see what I have to do. I have to stop holding back. Zoom can't do anything about the Flash. He's literally too fast as he gets his hits in left and right while Zoom is calling out, no! I was meant to be the true hero! Me! I've prepared for this my entire life, 12 lifetimes! All I ever heard was how perfect you are and how I wasn't! With that, he manages to get a hit in, throwing the Flash down to the street. I needed to break you to prove yourself less than me! This is me breaking you, Barry! Finally ending the Flash! The Flash stands up in an explosion of lightning. No! Why, Zoom? Why did you do this to me? It's not fair! You had a perfect life, the perfect parents! I needed you to be at the same level as me! The Flash hits Zoom hard, finally hitting him so hard that he knocks his mask off and he drops him to the ground. Then, the Flash runs. He gets a method of keeping Zoom sedated, and he gets the police force to the site to arrest the man. Just as the police arrive, Flash changes back into Barry and he informs them that this man is Eobard Thawne, the man who actually killed Nora Allen. And he'll get all the evidence to prove it. He then kneels down over Eobard Thawne. You are under arrest, Eobard. Thawne is carried off and he's placed into restraints that prevent his powers from working. His final words are, I won! Didn't I? I won! The city hates him! I won! And that is the end of Zoom. Now, honestly, a few of you are probably wondering if this is going to be the storyline for the TV show, but I have no idea. This is just the latest comic book series. This ended and it'll be a while before we can see what happens next with the city hating the Flash. But if you want to check it out yourself, make sure you go pick up the next issue, issue 48. I'm Benny the Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys next time right here.